Greg Jennings on a Friday, Fox NFL analyst. This is a great time of the year. What's your best? Give me a playoff memory. Like Schlereth said, it's the same thing. He said, sometimes the weather's worse, but playoff football is regular season football. Is no big difference.
It is. For players playing, I mean, that's your mentality. It's just another game. I was telling my daughter this. She's a gymnast, and state meets was a couple weeks back. And she's like, Daddy, how did you? And I'm like, honey, it's just another meet. It's another game. Like for us, Mike McCarthy told us going into Super Bowl 45 against the Pittsburgh Steelers, guys, it's the Green Bay Packers versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. We know who these guys are. They know who we are. It's the Super Bowl for everyone else. It's the playoffs for everyone. It is playoffs.
Were you nervous?
I was not because I approached it as another game. Nothing changed for me. My preparation didn't change. My practice habits didn't change. Nothing changed.
So when you walked on the field, you weren't nervous?
I was not nervous.
Isn't that great?
It was great.
Do you remember the first throw to you? I would think the first throw I'd be a wreck.
No, I don't.
So you don't?
I don't.
Has there ever been a game you got nervous for?
Not in the pros. Ironically, I never got nervous in the pros. In college, I got nervous because I was a kick returner. I hated kickoff.
That's awful. That's like a car wreck. That's awful.
Punt return was different. Kickoff return is for insane guys that have a lot of screws loose.
And you just said they made you do it.
Well, I was out there, and it's like you got all these linemen in front of you, but they have linebackers running down and defensive backs.
So, okay, let's just go through the games. Let's start with Colts-Texans. I don't feel strongly about this at all. I would take the Colts because I think they're hotter, and I think they have a better offensive line, and I think that matters in the playoffs. I feel no conviction. You?
No, I'm with you. I like the Colts. For those reasons. I like their offensive line. I like Andrew Luck and what they eliminate what the Houston Texans do best, which is pass rush. Get after your quarterback. J.J. Watt, Javion Clowney, they get after your quarterback. But with an offensive line who protects the quarterback better than any team in the National Football League, and a quarterback who now understands, I'm going to protect my offensive line. I'm only going to allow them to pass block for a couple seconds. You put the onus on the secondary of the Houston Texans.
Which is so-so.
Which is exactly.
Outside of Joseph, you can have him.
Exactly. And even Joseph, I mean, he's long in the tooth. This is year, 13 for him. So I just like everything about Andrew Luck right now.
Okay, on Fox, I'll take Dallas at home. Again, Russell Wilson's one of my favorite athletes in my life. He's a wizard. I do think Dallas has better players, and they're at home. If you give me the better players at home, and by the way, Dak is not Russell Wilson, but at home he's really efficient. So I'll take Dallas.
Nope, you're done.
You like Seattle.
You're done. I like Seattle.
Pete Schlereth likes him. You like him.
Pete Carroll. Let me give you this nugget. Pete Carroll has never lost his first game playing in the playoffs. When he gets in the dance, he doesn't lose.
So you like Seattle?
I like Seattle. I love Seattle. What is there not to love about Seattle? They understand who they are. They're great at what they do. They've always been a team that has been predicated on good defense and running the football. In the playoffs, if you can run the football and you have a guy who is arguably one of the best quarterbacks in the game, a whole nother story in and of itself.
Yes, he is.
Pro Football Focus, that was a joke.
What did they do?
They listed him at, number 6 or 7 on that list?
Well, I'm canceling my subscription to that.
Exactly.
Place.
Do it now.
Right this second.
Okay,
let's go to so you like Seattle. So Chargers, Ravens, it's almost everybody's talked me out of it. I think the Chargers have the best players in the league. They didn't have their running backs first time around.
You like the Chargers? See, no. Baltimore Ravens again at home. They're 7-1 all time in the wild card round. Jim Harbaugh, again, another coach who once he gets in, he wins. 2-0 at home. I like this team. They have identity. They
do have an identity.
Their quarterback fits them more than. He's not. They're not going to ask him to do anything outside of what we need you to do.
Phillip Rivers does make mistakes.
He makes mistakes. I mean, look at what they did to Phillip Rivers in that offense. 10 points. Okay. I understand they didn't have their guys, but
this is my only courageous pick. Philadelphia upset.
You like Philly?
Why do you look at me that way? Is that crazy? Is it crazy?
It's not crazy.
Lane Johnson, Jason Peters, Nick Foles, Golden Tate, Alshon Jeffrey, Doug Peterson, Fletcher Cox, Michael Bennett. I get nothing but dudes. I get good players.
Yeah, and the Bears, they don't have anybody.
Khalil Mack and a bunch of valet carriers.
The Bears don't have anybody, but they have a defense that, has really stifled quarterbacks.
You like this offense?
I like their offense as well.
Pop gun. You think this offense can drop 28?
Is that what you call it? Pop gun offense?
Who scares you on this offense?
Matt Nagy.
He's a coach.
Exactly.
So you didn't mention a single player.
No, I can mention a player. I can mention Taylor Gabriel. I can mention Allen Robinson. Mitchell Trubisky, I will mention him. Like, you have to account Tariq Cohen. You got to.
You're smiling as you say that.
No,
Mitch Trubisky scares you.
Mitch Trubisky, you can't. He doesn't scare me alone, but with Matt Nagy, understanding who he is and that whole BU mantra that he goes by, I love it. I love them together.
Wow. So
you're what's that? 0-4?
No, we agree on the Colts and that's
yeah.
God, I have everybody. Joy, I've never had a day so
the only game he agrees with you on.
So of all the guests I've had today, 11 disagreements, 1 agreement. You and I agree on the Colts. I literally had.
So you're either going to be very right or very wrong.
Wow. I'm going to get shelled Monday.
Where Colin was wrong.
A lot of that on Monday. Okay, let me ask you this, because you would know this better than anybody. When Aaron Rodgers, I want to talk about the Jets job. When you were there when he came out of college. He had a weird throwing motion. Good athlete. Not world class, but good athlete.
I wasn't there when he came out of college, but I was there the year after.
Okay. So you saw the growth.
Yes.
So he had weird, quirky, rigid throwing motion, had to be fixed. Came in socially, California kid, little odd. He and Favre didn't necessarily click. A little bit of an ad-libber, could be a little reckless. And then all those years later, Mike McCarthy gets no credit for developing Aaron Rodgers, who was not close to a finished product. Sam Darnold, California kid, good ad-libber, little reckless, kind of a weird, elongated throwing motion. McCarthy and the Jets seems like such an obvious choice to me. Am I crazy?
No, you're not crazy. I like this simply because he commands respect right out the gate. He understands. He will have your most important player's attention at all times. And why is that? Because of where he's come from, who he's coached, and his accomplishments. What he's been able to do with those guys under him, a la Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers. So when you're looking at a Sam Darnold, you're a young guy who you can pour into. You don't want a young coach and a young guy. I like Mike McCarthy because he can pull from his experiences with Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre, and he can pull from even a young Sam Darnold and allow him to become who he wants.
Kevin Clark from The Ringer came on earlier. He had a great line. He said, what you don't want is a developing quarterback getting a developing coach. You want like Andy Reid went to Kansas City, then he can get Patrick Mahomes. We know who the coach.
I like that. I like that statement a lot.
You bring in Matt Rule, you got a developing quarterback and a developing NFL head coach. I'm not interested in that.
No.
And do you like McCarthy?
I love McCarthy. I absolutely love McCarthy. I think my only knock on Mike McCarthy was his complacency when it comes to play calling.
He bad at it or didn't care?
He wasn't bad. He wasn't a bad play caller. When he got up on teams,
he was very conservative.
He was very conservative, and he just didn't have that.
That could be generational. Chuck Knox, Marty. It is a little bit. That's the way they're.
And
Bill
I think
Parcells.
You have to pair yourself when you know. And self-assessment in this league is very important. If you know that that's who you are, you got to bring in somebody on that staff that counters that. That's going to challenge the play calling and the creativity and the innovation that you put out there.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.